All right, first year. So you've successfully made the cup by following my other videos. Now we need to make the saucer. So I'm going to create a new part. And then if you've got my template loaded, you'll get this bit of text. You can click on it once or twice, double click. Say Control C and then save it straight away as, save as. And you can drop that in at the bottom under the naming thing. Just get this right, Control V, and you can retype. Quicker way, of course, is if you've already saved your cup correctly, you can just right click on that name. That'll copy that existing name down to the naming bar at the bottom, and you can just rename the title. We'll need to overwrite an existing file. You won't have to do that, of course, and then you can just delete this bit of text because we don't need it. All right, so now I want to view the two files side by side in case there's information in the one that I want. So if you go to the flyout, under window, you go to tile horizontally. Now you've got to make sure that you're in the latest one, and tile vertically, sorry, it should do it. It hasn't done it. I'm getting tired of this. I keep doing it. There we go. Okay, so there are your two side by side, which means I can look at that sketch and I can see 21 is sort of a starting point. Okay, I mean, if I wanted to, I can actually drag that sketch across into this one. I'll show you how to do it, but it's not going to be useful now because of the way it positions it. But you hold the control button down, you drag this into that window, and there it is. Okay, it's also on the front plane. I don't want that. I'm going to delete it, get rid of it. Okay, I just need to know that 21 is pretty much my starting point. So let's maximize this one. Front view sketch. We're going to use the line tool and go from the center. Okay, I'm going to make this about, let's make it 26. Enter. And I'm going to go up, but at a slight angle. And then I'm going to just hover over that endpoint to get a radius, and then again hover over the endpoint to get another curve going the other opposite direction, and then double click. Well, you can just click once, we don't need that one. Go away. Right, now I can just dimension this, but before I do that, I just want to put in this little bit of a dish. Remember, you've got to put a dish in both sides, so let's put that in straight away. Let's go from there to there. We are missing a center line, so let's just drag out a center line, let's go center line, and go back to that one there, 3-point arc, round about there to there. Okay, cool. And now I would like that to be tangent to a straight line, so just click on that point, say tangent, and then we can just define this. So this should also be about, let's say, make 3, 2.5, somewhere around there. You guys will need to measure an actual saucer, so don't copy my dimensions uncritically. It's going to annoy me. Okay, so I need to get rid of that line there, and then what's happened by deleting that line, I've taken away the relationship between this line and that center point. So just reintroduce it to make it coincident. You see it goes black. Put a few more dimensions in, so I'm going to select the line, go to one of the ends, click on one of the arms, give this a rounded off dimension, give this one, say about 2.5, that one 300, let's try 400 and see. We can always change this, and then let's give this a height. So from there to there should be about 14. I don't know, I might be completely off. Okay, if that's happened, just drag this back up. What's happened there is it's kept the relationship of the curve, as you can see, to its original position. So I'm just going to drag it back up, and then we need to position the center point or that point there, but I'm going to use the center point. Makes more sense. Wait till this goes horizontal, make it 1.5, something like that. Okay, what are we missing? So we need to go from there to there to give us an overall width, which 200 is probably too big. But this is for illustrative purposes. I'm going to rely on you guys to figure out what you need to do properly. Okay, now, since I've got the dishing in, I've got the little foot, I've got a little bit of a rise, I've got a fillet in there, and then that curve, I can select this and I can say offset this entity by, let's make it 2.5, and then I'm just going to pull to the top. And now I don't really like what's happening at the bottom here, because that's not what would happen. So let's draw something. Let's go a little bit higher. Let's make this bit a bit thicker. Let's maybe extend a bit so we can get rid of that one and that one and that one, and then maybe put a little bit of a right, and let's make that one there. I haven't shown you this, parallel to this one. So parallel, and then I'm going to drag this across. Don't worry about what it does for the rest. Oops. Okay, so let's just put a dimension in here. I want that width there to be, let's make it 3. All right, now it seems somehow that we've got a problem here. So let's delete that and re-offset, but this time I only want one element, that element there. Okay, and then if you use the power trim tool and you hold the shift button down, you can get a line to extend to another one. So watch this, hold the shift button down, drag over that line, there we go. And then I can just chop this one off and put a few more lines in and a few more dimensions. So let's just close the sketch off. That's one thing there. And here we can either do a tangent arc from there up to there. That looks good. Let's just get that to go around. Going to power trim to that point. Yeah, I think that's good enough. I mean, if you do something like this, I'm happy. It's not ideal, but it's right. So that there, let's make it 3, let's see what happens. And then that little edge there, we can put a fillet in on the actual model. So I've got a closed shape. We need another dimension in here. Give me a dimension between there and, so here it's the thickness that counts, not the height. So we really got a height in place. Let's make this a bit, let's make it 2.5 as well. And I think I'm going to just fillet all of these in the model. It's going to be easier to do that. So if you've got this basic shape, we can exit the sketch. It's fully defined, it's dimensioned, so we can say revolve pass around that shape there. Make sure that thin feature, remember thin feature is the tricky bit, is not selected. You see it should automatically do what you want it to do. And then I'm just going to fillet that with, or say 1. Let's try 1. 1 will do. Let's see if we can get these to do the same. Might not work with that little bit. No, it's too big. So 0.7. Yeah, it'll do it. Okay, so this looks a bit too big. Not a problem. Just click on Revolve. I don't know why it's not showing the dimensions, but if it doesn't, just click on the sketch. And let's just drag this one in a bit so that it gets smaller. So let's make it about 100 and what is that? 180, I think. Okay, there we go. And that's your saucer done. I mean, this should change as well, but I'm going to leave it. This is the basic idea is all that you need to know. That's how you create the saucer, and then we'll mate them later. So now we've got 2 separate parts. Make sure that you save this and that you saved the other one, and then I'll show you how to mate them in class. Cheers.